going on? Semen Piso back once again with yet another video. Of course, this is the 3rd of June, 2025. And so we have to do yet another Piso's perceptions, the Piso, right? So another piece of perceptions right back in effect. We have a lot to talk about this time around. I feel like it's honestly going to be a little bit of an echo of a lot of the old Piso's perceptions. It's basically my knowledge is just eternal. It's recurring. It's perpetual. That's really what we're going to find out today. But let's get right into it. Like, comment, subscribe. We're going to get right into it. What are we going to talk about first? Of course, it's not a Piso's perception unless we talk about employment. Let's talk about employment. Okay, for the guys that don't know, because I haven't been live streaming for the past month in May, Semen Piso was hired yet again. That wasn't the issue, getting a job, because we can get any job. Anyone can get any job. The gates are open to anyone to get any dead-end jobs. The goal obviously was a career job, one with benefits, one with a 401k, all that kind of stuff where you can advance. Obviously, the gates are not willing to permit me inside those places. So we've taken this job for now. We're working for a Georgian restaurant, Georgian cuisine. Not Georgia as in Atlanta, Georgia. We're talking about Georgia, north of Armenia, right? So we've been there for the past month actually. I think in the last bit of May, last 2 weeks of May, I started working at this Georgian spot. It's been really cool. I knew about the cuisine. If you guys looked at my old Georgian video, you guys know that I've known about Georgia for a while. I dated a Georgian girl when I was in college. Like this country is of no surprise to me, or there's not any mystery. I know some of the phrases too, Rogorakha, which is like, how are you? Bicho, friend, and that's it. And Kachapuri, Kitgali, Mitzvadi, Sinandali, Saperavi, Kachetian. I know it's all like food related, but we're learning a lot of Georgian. At least this is the silver lining of this place. But anyway, I'm a server once again. I'm serving food, taking orders. We've been dealing with very interesting customers, but to be honest, it's New York. You're gonna find interesting people wherever you go. I could have worked at a TGIF and I would have found interesting customers. Nothing changes. The paradigm still continues. At least I think last year in this during the same time, I was in transition to working in the city. The Manhattan is leaving. It's not the SSN from Pokemon. I don't know why anyone would wish that they would be in a world of Pokemon anyway. Because imagine you have like rogue Lugias going around, causing havoc. Anyway, let's get back on track. It's been cool. The restaurant gig has been cool. I've been meeting some cool people. It's only been me and 2 other servers. One person decided to take his leave because he realized that I would do well. I'm a good server. Because I had 8 years in the goddamn industry, so there's no way I would mess up at all. Unless it's like a small error, like maybe a spill here, and maybe I forgot an appetizer there, which rarely happens anyway. But and in regard to employment, Semen Piso is working once again. How long we're gonna be at this place? Only time will tell. We could fight our darnest against the divine providence. We could fight tooth and nail to try to insert what we believe we deserve, right, in this whole line of faith. We could ascend. We could raise the energy in our vessels, due to semen retention, due to various practices, just to try to avert your tunnel of fate. But in the end, I think that there are just some things that are just going to happen, right? So that's employment for us. That's employment for Semen Piso. Let's talk about semen retention. Everyone's always asking me questions. Oh, how's your semen retention streak? Oh, what's this? What's going on with you? Oh, someone came in, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last Piso's perceptions, but I felt like this happened recently. The last time I live streamed, someone came in and was like, Semen Piso, I can tell that you watch golf film content. Like, I'm going to tell you how deluded and delusional you are. With this practice of semen retention, I haven't seen adult film content in like almost 2 years, right? That's just not an inclination for me to look at anymore. I don't feel like looking at it. I don't even get the urge to think about it anyway, because I understand so much about it. This is what actually been helping with this current semen retention streak anyway. I don't know how far. I think I'm like a month and change in. I'm 2 months. I forget. Seriously, I'm not even paying attention because I have so many other problems in mind. I'm trying to do so much with my life. And so I've been continuing on this path of not even thinking about looking at adult film content and just trying to ascend, really. So I don't really think about the adult film content or semen retention like that anyway. I just know that I've fulfilled my conditions on my end because I'm doing the right thing. And whatever happens then during the day, it happens. Honestly, I'm trying to do much more of a restructure of my emotions in my mind. That's really it. I've been doing a lot of learning recently about myself. Yeah, that's really all I could say. Semen retention is going well, and the thing is, like I was saying before, a little before, once you understand the nature of this kind of content, you have to realize, listen, everything in this world is of a capital basis. Capital as in things cost money. To do things, you have to pay. To do things, there's a cost, essentially, right? On the economic side, and perhaps even the spiritual side, and the vital side, the energy side, the vital side, physical side. And so we have this high quality content that's been pushed out since the internet, the start of the internet, right? The start of being able to upload videos onto the World Wide Web. And that stuff is free. That stuff is free. Adult film content, high quality, very beautiful women there. To be able to assemble and arrange those production fields, it costs money to bring these people together, and yet they peddle this stuff for free. Obviously, that is a huge red flag. Once you understand this with your very being, it's very, very difficult to look on YouTube and read books and understand information on a basic level. Everyone could do that. That's simple. When you understand what is being said with your very being, then those bits of information has done its job. Seriously, you could read books about relationship. You could even read the Bible. You could even read the Bhagavad Gita, and learn about how Krishna, tackled certain tasks and whatnot, and his mindset. You can understand it on a basic level, on an intellectual level, but unless you directly connect with the information, it is just a bit that'll dance in your subconscious. But to be honest, I think that you should have that bit in your subconscious anyway, because it'll accelerate your sort of tunnel of fate, right? You'll slowly I feel like you'll come to that information or that understanding sooner than if you were to not have read those bits of information and stored it in your subconscious. Just to reel it back into semen retention, what that has to do with it really is because I'm not interested in looking at adult film content at all, because now I understand with my very being how detrimental it is. I can get away with looking at it, right? You could do it. I could do anything in this world. I could jump in this river and drown myself, right? I could go in front of the Manhattan hasn't left yet, but it's leaving now. I can go in front of that boat and get chopped in half, right? We have free will, but it will not produce any sort of fortuitous result for any proper structure in your life, as with adult film content. And so, just to clear up to conclude this little bit of semen retention, I've been doing extremely well. Seriously, I'm not even interested in adult film content, and I've been doing really well at the gym, as you can see. As it always has been, right? This is why we're going to revisit the beginning of this thesis perception, that everything I say is eternal, is perpetual. I've said it already, and I will probably say it a year from now. That's semen retention, right? Let's get into intimate and interpersonal relationships, right? Interpersonal relationship has been going really well. I think you understand more about life when you realize there are some things within your locus of control, and there are some things that are just existing outside of your locus of control. I have pretty good interpersonal relationships. I just watched a movie with my friend. She's now in Italy. We got to talk about that. I have a video. I'm gonna talk about Italy and the American woman in a Patreon video, because this is a very interesting recurring pattern I've noticed very recently. And so we're going to talk about this in Patreon. If you guys want to join the Patreon, check that out. Link is going to be in the description below, of course. But anyway, she is off in Italy right now. We watched a movie together. I forgot what we watched. Or I think we hung out together. No, we watched a movie together. We watched a movie together. It was Mission Impossible. It was the second part of Mission Impossible. I'm a big fan of Tom Cruise. If you don't know, that's another big proponent of semen retention. That's the whole reason why he became successful in the first place, by the way. And he accredits his practice of semen retention. I think his first wife talked about how much of a monk he was. So semen retention is important, but please, that is supposed to be just the baseline, the foundation, the pillar of which you build everything else that is important in your life off of. But anyway, in reference to Mission Impossible, man, I think after I like 3. We're gonna get a little sidetracked. I'm gonna be very quick with this little summary, right? So, I liked Mission Impossible 3. It was cool because you didn't know what was gonna happen. There were traitors everywhere. People didn't like the American government. They did. Philip Seymour Hoffman delivered a wonderful performance. Tom Cruise was getting emotional. It was wow. Mission Impossible 3 was crazy. Now, ever since like 4 or 5, they've been doing a lot of the movies conclude with a lot of these synchronized events happening, and it's like a bomb is going to go off in New Jersey, for example. That's New Jersey over there for the guys that don't live in New York. And then there's going to be a bomb that goes off in the Empire State Building, and to disarm the bombs, you have to disarm them at the same time. But the thing is, on either side, there are things going on. So these guys have to sort of quell their respective threats in order to then neutralize the bigger threat, which is the detonation of both New Jersey and the Empire State Building. By the way, they have to synchronize at the same time without communication with both parties. This is what's been going on at the conclusion of all this Mission Impossibles since 4 or 5. And it's the same thing happened in the latest one as well. I don't know what to say. I'm telling you, it's just, I like Tom Cruise, I really do. It's just that the latest Mission Impossible wasn't that good, man. I'm just gonna say that. But that's all to say that my interpersonal relationships are going well. I've been going out a lot recently. Intimate relationships. About that, I'm going to say this. I think that the closer you are to fire, let's explain it. I'm going to try to explain it very, very as well as possible. I think that semen retention is a very powerful practice for sure. But if we are using that to avoid women, like the interaction with women, I think that you will grow, of course, as people do age in this finite universe, this carbon-based universe, right? That's governed by time. You will grow, but you won't learn anything. You need to put yourself near fire or into the fire in order to learn about fire, the nature of fire, if you survive, when you survive, because you can't really die that way, right? All metaphorically speaking, by the way. Follow me, please, people. Follow me. You have to place yourself near the fire. It's going to involve a lot of suffering. It's going to involve a lot of burning. It's going to involve a lot of erosion of everything you thought you knew. Everything that you've read, everything that you believe to be true, everything that you even conditioned yourself to be true may not necessarily be true, and you'll be met with your now inner overstanding of the objective reality. And the only way to do that is to put yourself near the fire. And so with intimate relationships, I don't know what that has to do. Well, it has a lot to do with it. I'm figuring something out, to be honest. I'm trying to figure something out. That's really what it is. Yeah, we've been playing with fire, of course. But anyway, that's not to say that my intimate and interpersonal relationships haven't been going well. They've been doing pretty well. I'm going to be completely honest. I've been meeting a lot of other people. Like I've been saying, and my Patreon, if you guys are following my Patreon, I've been going out. I've been, it's just the female presence or female responses around me have been very, very interesting lately. It's just they've been very receptive, which is pretty interesting. I didn't think that's a thing, especially here in the United States. Because our sentiment about the United States, guys. So anyway, we're gonna talk about more about this on Patreon. So join the Patreon. You're gonna check it out, see it. Link is gonna be in the description below. Join in. What else are we gonna talk about? Mental health. Let's talk about mental health right now. Right. So mental health has been interesting. It's just a lot of people. What I've learned about my mental health, to be honest, is that, or what I learned about myself lately, is that I think I carry around a little bit of an entitlement. I've carried around past tense because we've immolated this quality about ourselves, this negative quality, recently. I've been a little entitled. I expect things to happen, and if they don't happen, then I'm angry, and then I blame a force. Whether or not that force may exist, I automatically aim towards that force as a scapegoat, whether it be a clandestine secret society that drinks the blood of children, or a clandestine secret society that worships numbers and dole out nepotism and jobs to everyone that pledges a loyalty, a covenant to the secret society. I basically target these guys as scapegoats, whether or not that may be true. And by doing that, I absolve myself of any personal responsibility, such as perhaps I didn't work as hard as I should have to get what I needed to get, or maybe I have been too focused on one aspect of why I didn't get a thing, rather than focusing on all the other aspects. So I think that's maturity, right? I think we're maturing. I think we're getting older. I think we're learning. Mental health is going well, honestly. And then, of course, in reference to the little cryptic, what is it? Burning or standing near fire recently. We've been learning, man. It's just I want to ultimately be destroyed. I will ultimately, everything that I know it's not to be true, because I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied for where I am, what I've done. I'm a little satisfied, but I know I should be farther. I know I could do more. I know there could have been more accomplished, or I can accomplish more things. And so because of that dissatisfaction, I sort of blame it on this sort of stagnant, static mindset. And the only way to get myself out of it is to be burned, is to be destroyed, is to be eaten alive. And so I've been playing with fire recently as an attempt to eradicate my old self. You're still going to have the Semen Piso that you're seeing here. And I'm smiling because this is just an interesting observation, right, that I've come into in the past month. But yeah, it's just I've been seeing a lot of the things in my life happening as interconnected and trying to teach me something. Even though I spoke about this before, I'm actually understanding it now, which is a reference to the beginning of this video. It's so interesting. We just went to Serbia. We just went to Eastern Europe. We traveled all over Eastern Europe, and then we now are working in a Georgian restaurant. By the way, where we met Serbians, Russians, Hungarians, Bulgarians, and once I divulged the tale of me traveling around Eastern Europe, it gets so ecstatic. They're like, "What are you doing? Why are you even there?" But yeah, that's all in all, that's mental health. Mental health is going really well. I think I'm doing very well. I'm doing very, very well. I'm getting better. Yeah, doing very well. Let's move on, I suppose, to plans for the channel. Right, the channel has been doing extremely well. I don't know if you guys have been checking it out, but we've been having a lot. I've recorded a lot in Eastern Europe. I recorded almost everything that I've done. When I went to Bosnia, Sarajevo, we recorded. When I went to Albania, we recorded. In Kosovo, we recorded. We've done everything, and so I've been slowly uploading these videos onto YouTube. To much applause. We've been doing a lot of the. I've been doing a lot of the Serbia video uploads, and we've been getting a lot of good reception. It's just videos of me hanging around, maybe speaking with someone that's from Belgrade or from Serbia. We've been having a good time. Seriously, we've been having a great time. And good reception as well from a lot of the YouTube audience, especially Serbians. These guys are so prideful about their country, and just having people come in that are foreigners, clearly foreigners, and just partaking in the traditions and the culture and everything. It's been great. I'm telling you. Someone called me a polyglot because I knew a little bit of so many languages, right? Eu puedo hablar pouco espanhol, eu falo pouco português, je parle peu le français, une place pas chic, я немножко говорю по-русски. Watashi wa Semen Retention. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool. We've been getting a lot of positive reception, which is actually kind of cool. The channel subscribers have been growing. I think I'm at like 5,300 right now. I forget. I don't know. I have to check again. But we've been growing. So that is not to say that I will stop talking about what the core tenets that made this channel in the first place. Like I said in the last piece of perceptions, I'm growing, I'm developing, and I'm learning that a lot of what I know is not correct, right? So I'm sort of being a therapist to myself, because I realize a lot about myself. I have like this duality, as with us all, right? We exist in sort of, what's going on, man? We exist in sort of duality, right? We have this self that exists here. This is not Jungian by any means, or any one of. It's not like a sort of a pseudo analysis of any of one of these Swiss, French, Austrian psychologists, right? I forget what Sigmund Freud was. He's German, right? This is just so many of Piso's analysis. I realize that we have a duality. We have a self that wants to exist here, right? That's emotional and wants to stick to routine, wants to stick to pattern, wants to stick to perpetual paradigms that makes them feel comfortable. And then there is this self that also exists within that self that notices all that stuff and criticizes you at every turn, obviously through the mediums of communication that exist within your body, not with a mouth. And so all those feelings of guilt and apprehension come about because you are dueling with that self, that objective self that probably exists in a future time. It's like the protagonist from Tenet, that Christopher Nolan film, right? That self probably exists in the future, seen the future, and it's just telling you, you got to do this, you got to do that, something like that, because you got to get there quick, stuff like that. So I've been now giving a lot of voice and permission to this objective voice, this objective being, this sombra inside. And so I've been using that to sort of eradicate everything that I think I know. Seriously, it's kind of nuts. But let's go over more plans for the channel because we keep getting into like psychological appraisals, right? Analyses. I've been doing a lot of Patreon content. I don't know if you guys have seen the Patreon. I have a couple people that are signed on to the Patreon, which is really cool. But we need more of you guys signed on to the Patreon. I uploaded like 5 videos today to Patreon last month, and I'm planning to upload way more next month. And of course, I know I've been slacking on the newsletters. I'm going to be doing more of the newsletters. Please do not worry, the newsletters are coming. But I want to postpone the releases for those. I think I'm going to do them every other week, something like that. But the Patreon, of course, is where I can't, I talk about a lot of the things that I can't really talk about on YouTube or else I'll get in trouble. I talk about, I guess, maybe a lot of the sensual aspects of ourselves, right? In regards to the world, right? And of course, I talk about, I definitely talk about, my experiences in other countries, how our relationships were in other countries. I guess the finances behind certain needs and wants in other countries, things like that. So I talk about all of this on Patreon. So you guys got to join the Patreon. The link is going to be in the description below. I'm going to have a description of all the tiers. So check that out. Right. So what else? I guess other plans for the channel. I know I've been uploading at a sporadic schedule, erratic. Or both. I guess both adjectives could work. Right. So I've been a little nonsensical with the amount of times I've been uploading, and that's because remember, it's only me editing on the channel. It's only me uploading. It's only me doing management of the channel. And so now with this new job, which we are doing a lot of shifts for, because there's only so many servers. It's me and 2 others. I have a lot of shifts. I'm working full time, and so I have to devote a lot of my energies and essences towards this stuff, man. And so whenever I have free time, I have to record and then edit. So it's going to take a long time, but don't worry, I will never give up on the channel. I will never give up on you guys. I've always loved you guys, and I always will, because that's just all I know, really. So stick with me, please. We are going to keep the uploads strong and running. So that's that for plans of the channel. What else do I really talk about? I don't know. I guess that's it for this episode of Piso's Perceptions, right? Don't let this place get you down. Listen, I've been saying this at the end of all my videos. Do not ever let this place get you down. We get caught up in paradigms and patterns of behavior. Sometimes we have to break out of what is preordained for us, or what we think is preordained for us, in order to truly grow. Where did I get this inspiration from, right? Ironically, Mission Impossible. The reason why it's, of course, in addition to it being a plot, right? The script written out, right? So all of those things that happened successfully that was due to a slight modicum, a diminutive percentage point of chance of success, although it belongs to a script, a written, manufactured script. I took a lot of the things from that movie as something very powerful, like the idea of the entity, this AI program that knows your behaviors and analyzes your previous behaviors, and so it already plots out a whole plethora of results that you will do because it knows your behavior, it knows your personality. And I was like, maybe the whole idea of a creator, right, this governing force, is sort of behaves like the entity, right? Maybe we could fool it a little bit by acting off course, right? Exercising your free will completely. You know, I don't know. It was very interesting because Tom Cruise was doing some crazy stuff in that movie. He was in the Arctic. He was supposed to have a suit, an insulating suit, to to hold his breath and also to keep his body temperature stabilized. But he somehow took off the suit because he was put in a provocative situation and swam to the surface of the water in the Arctic, half naked. Like I said, the movie was manufactured. The script is definitely curated, for a specific effect. Of course. But I don't know, man. It's just something about that film and just a lot of the events that's been happening in my life that sort of inspired me to take this route, to sort of understand that we are seriously living with dualistic natures in us all. One of them, like I said, is this objective being. No face except eyes. And it's just one color. It's representative of the essence of your soul. And it knows. It's been places. It's almost like Master Xehanort. Oh, Master of Masters in Kingdom Hearts. That's all, guys. All I'm saying is that listen to that inner voice and break out of the paradigms of pattern behavior that you guys have been fooled into acting towards or conditioned to be acting with. And you will find some idea of truth. Be comfortable with going close to the fire, but not being eradicated and turn to ash completely. And stay radiant. I'm going to see you guys in the next Piso's Perceptions. Woo!